What's up, Patsy?
How we doing today?
Uh, oh, turn my volume down. Friday, thank goodness.
It's been a week.
Tell you what, just watching, I just can't believe the way orders for stuff are rolling in.
Like
Uh,
crazy.
it is, and the only thing I can figure is the money's so cheap they don't care if the prices went up.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously. Guy told me, you know what? If it's you take a building, big commercial building, if it jumped 50, 60 grand, 800 grand in 8 months since the bid, he says for commercial over 30 years, what the hell is it? In their view, it's what? Is it even a grand a month? I guess if you look at it that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, uh, we are looking to hire so many people. It's not funny, and I'm really. It's like I'm getting mixed signals. We're almost panicky. Okay, about come uh, come November, whenever the shit that's happening in Florida makes its way up north, and at the same time, we're hiring people like we're going to start working on 2 or 3 shifts.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean we're hiring like that much.
Or is there enough people in this town to fulfill it?
Enough bodies,
Yeah.
yeah. Enough people who were willing to work for the wages that we're offering, not so sure. And of those people, how many can pass a piss test? Again, not so sure. Uh, I mean the our shop guys don't make great money. They don't make bad money. I mean it's it's pretty decent. It's not. I mean, it's not fantastic. It's obviously not what we make in the office, but it's for as hard a job as it is, it's pretty good.
Yeah, especially this town's a lower cost of living too.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll tell you what, my wife was telling me that St. Elizabeth's in Youngstown, you can't even believe the amount of nurses they need to hire between Youngstown, two hospitals in Youngstown, one in Warren. She says those nurses are actually got a raise for staying and they're getting all the overtime they want. She said they could hire like 500 tomorrow and would need more.
500.
Yeah. Between those three bills. Well, you figure 24 hours, 7 days a week, you know, I think they're working probably 3 12s on off, 12 on, 12 off, 3 days or whatever they do.
They're gonna burn out real quick.
Well, that's just it. The ones that are there, yeah, I mean, you work, I mean, you're working overtime on top of that with what's going on. It's mentally draining.
Oh yeah.
Um, I remember working Rockwell and Newcastle in college. I don't know how those guys did it all those years. I did 90 days straight midnight shift, 7 days a week, 8 to 12 hours a day because I was sucking up overtime and everything. It was all money for college.
Right.
I can remember. I remember coming home after a midnight shift. I think me and my cousin stayed extra. They said, "Can you guys stay? We need you for a couple hours." And they're like, "Yeah, we don't care." And what the hell? $17 an hour in 1979. Do the math. Okay, $17 an hour then would buy you almost. Well, I'd buy you 3 cases of cheap beer. plus,
Oh my God.
maybe four. Okay.
Oh yeah.
I remember coming home. It was like 10 and it was like, well, it was summer. So it was probably, I don't know, it was probably 9:30 in the morning. And my parents and my younger brother and sister were all dressed up. I'm like, where the hell are you guys going? They said, it's Sunday, church. You better get a shower and go to bed. To honest to God, I didn't even know what day it was. They
Oh
just
yeah.
start running together. Well, they do.
Yeah.
You know, in the same vein, all those people complained about how many people got hurt there and went on disability. It's the workers' fault. Well, you know what? No, you know, I can't blame it all on that. You know, when you're working like that, your body, it ain't going to take it.
No, it's not.
You're going to make a mistake when you get tired. It's as simple as
Oh
that.
yeah.
Running around that heavy equipment, we're talking, you know, drop forges, hot steel, furnaces, noise.
Without nearly the safety precautions that they have now.
No, I mean, you had to be careful, but honest to God, you know, you get into that, you getting tired and you're just going through the motions. That's when you get hurt.
It's whenever you don't put your hands away quick enough. When you don't realize where you're walking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't imagine what their insurance would have been even back then.
Man, I remember because when they moved, they saw it's all because of disability, this and that. No, you moved this shit to Brazil because you couldn't satisfy the stockholders. That place was making money. Even then, don't want to hear it. You were just greedy
Yeah.
bastards.
Yeah.
And the tax code let them do it.
Oh sure. Yeah, but that place always made money. It always, always, always made money.
Yeah. The
And
actual plant, yeah, that you know what, that was due more to technology of the old stuff than anything because you know how many cars even have leaf springs now?
oh shit.
That's what they made, leaf springs for cars and trucks. I mean, the light trucks still have them because they're beefed up for half ton, 3/4 ton, 1 ton. You
Well,
know,
that's it
cars
though.
don't
Yeah.
have those leaf springs
Hmm.
anymore.
No.
You know, that's just a progression of technology.
Right. And I'm sure that whatever they whatever the area was where they were making the leaf springs, they're making something else now.
Well, that's now, Christ, did they tear half of that building? Well, you know what that building is now? I don't even know if they're using it a lot. That's where they were making those railroad cars next to Elwood Steel.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was the leaf spring plant.
Yeah.
You know, I think part of it was rearranged into Elwood Steel, and the other part they were welding the railroad cars or repairing them.
What are they? Is that building empty now?
It might be right now.
Because I'm pretty sure that's just a PennDOT staging area now.
It might be.
Yeah. So that building's just sitting there dormant, really.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder who owns that.
I don't know who has that now.
Because PennDOT's got that staging area, then they got one over on the end of Cherry Street, East Cherry Street. I know they do a lot of their like salt and stuff that they keep over there.
Yeah, I don't know if Casgro owns that building or not
Probably.
because they got the
Probably.
railroad lines going in.
They go in off the side, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Um, been watching the news.
On and off.
Let's talk a minute about Chris Cuomo.
You
You know,
know,
you can tell
you
they're brothers, right?
you think about that, but why would you grab somebody's wife's butt in front of the husband?
To catch everybody up, Shelley Ross, a former executive producer at ABC, um, accused Chris Cuomo of sexual harassment in an opinion piece published Friday in the New York Times. She said that Cuomo greeted her at a 2005 party by wrapping her in a bear hug and grabbing her ass, well, buttock, I'm sorry, in front of her husband. Cuomo later apologized in an email, also published by the newspaper, in which he says, "Now that I think of it, I'm ashamed." Although he insists his actions were intended as a hearty greeting with no malicious or sexual intent. Chris Cuomo is 51. His older brother Andrew was governor of New York, and we can go on and on and on about his exploits. Uh, in an emotional two-camera piece at the time, Cuomo said, "My advice to my brother was simple and consistent. On what you did, tell people that you'll do better, to be contrite, and to finally accept that it doesn't matter what you intended. What matters is how your actions and words were perceived." Well, uh, Ross said she was at the party with her husband, who sat behind me on an ottoman, sipping his Diet Coke as I spoke with friends. When Mr. Cuomo entered, he walked toward me and greeted me with a strong bear hug while uh, lowering one hand to firmly grab and squeeze the cheek of my buttock. Why do I get a Forrest Gump feeling here? Uh, I can do this now that you're no longer my boss, he said to me with kind of cocky arrogance. "No, you can't," I said, pushing him off me at the chest while stepping back, revealing my husband, who has seen the entire episode at close range, and then they left. Uh, Cuomo said he issued a statement that Shelley acknowledges our interaction was not sexual in nature. It happened 16 years ago in a public setting when she was a top executive at ABC. I apologized to her then, and I meant it. Uh, she said she doesn't want Cuomo to lose his job. I hope he stays at CNN forever if he chooses. I would, however, like to see him journalistically repent, agree on air to study the impact of sexism, harassment, and gender bias in the workplace, including his own, and then report on it. Lou, why don't these folks just go away? have
Who,
we
like
not have we not had enough of the Cuomo brothers?
yeah, at this point, I would think. Um, she brought it up now. I mean, she looking for apology, and I don't know what to think.
Well, yeah. I mean, I question the reasons for even bringing it up 16 years later. Whenever obviously you accepted his apology then. Uh, what's the purpose? What's the point? I mean, I'm not trying to victim blame. I mean,
No,
it's acknowledged he did it. Even he acknowledges he did it. But why? I mean, you wrote a piece in the New York Times, an opinion piece, so you had every intention of telling people this 16 years later. To what end?
maybe just trying to keep it in the news, keep it aware, keep pricks on their toes.
Well, that's I guess that's the real question, is it? I mean, and like I said, I'm in no way victim blaming. In no way am I saying that it didn't happen, or I don't believe it or anything like that. I seriously just wonder why you felt necessary to even mention it all this time later. You know, I mean, you would have thought if she was going to jump on this thing, it would have been a month ago. Whenever Andrew was going through all his shit, right? And she could have doubled down and said, "Oh, by the way, his brother, yeah, he's a piece of shit too. Here's why."
Yeah, that's
You know,
yeah. I don't know.
I just don't understand. I don't know. Maybe it's just I don't know. She felt Master Grant.
Hi guys.
Maybe he has some words of wisdom about that.
Did you, Master Grant? Did you see the latest Cuomo saga?
Was it the TV guy?
Yeah, the CNN guy who now 16 years ago decided to play some grab ass with would have been an executive at ABC at the time, Shelley Ross, uh, gave her a big hug and grabbed her ass right in front of his wife or her husband. Now
I just
it's
don't
not.
know.
I should let you know it's not alleged. He acknowledged it. He apologized. This was 16 years ago. He acknowledged it when it happened, or a day or two later, whenever he had the opportunity. Um, so he owned up to it, unlike his brother, who tried to pull a Trump. Uh, what do you think? I think it's time these two kind of went off into the sunset someplace.
Well, what I just don't get is that these like you know this is one incident and he's apologized and yet he's going to be gone, and yet the former president of the United States did far, far, far worse, and yet it's like, oh, he's just a guy. He's just doing guy things.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a double standard. If you're a Republican, get that R. Get that R. Let's go the other way. If you get that R next to your name, it's like you're righteous. You can't do any wrong. Even if you do wrong, it doesn't stick. And then you get a progressive like Como who made a mistake. It's wrong. What he did was wrong. Nobody's saying it's not. I just think there's just a double standard.
I did ask the question. This was done in a. This was all brought up in an opinion piece in the New York Times. Okay, published today. All right. So she came out. This Shelley Ross did an opinion piece 16 years later about Chris Cuomo. Uh, I made asked the question, and like I said, like the third or fourth time I said it, not victim blaming, but I would like to know why she felt it necessary to even put this piece in the Times.
Oh well, it's easy. It's getting her 15 minutes of fame.
But why now?
Absolutely.
Why not? Why not a month ago, whenever they were going after his brother? She could have jumped on the bandwagon and got a whole lot more out of it, and they could have dragged this thing on because it was both brothers, forever.
Yeah, it's the spin doctors. They're probably advised her to wait so that it could be a solo shot. Um, that she'll get more publicity. Otherwise, it'll be buried. They wanted it to have some highlight potential. It's all about anymore. News isn't news. I mean, it's like you said. This was 16 years ago. Now it's coming to light. You know, things have things happen, right? Was that pleasant? No. But you know what? She's going to bring it up, and now he's going to lose his job. He's going to, be marred. I've had things. I mean, I've had things happen to me that I'm not happy about. I mean, it's been reversed. I've had women who were in power over me do things to me wasn't happy about. But do you see me? Now maybe if they became big CNN anchors, maybe I'd come out of the come out and say something, try to make just get my 15 minutes of glory. But I don't know. It's just like a double standard. And the other thing, which I was kind of going with, was that news media anymore isn't about telling you news. It's about getting clicks. It's about getting you interested to watch, to talk, to listen, to see. And the more scandalous, the better. I mean, look at the headlines today. There was this big, ugly picture of this guy, this scary looking man. And I was thinking about it. And the headline was Taliban going to go back to whatever, ruthless, whatever it was. And I'm like, why is that there? And of course it's there because people know that's gonna get people gonna get scared and they're gonna click it. They're gonna want to look at it, they're gonna read it. And those clicks mean dollars, advertising. Same thing with the news media. They CNN, that's what and Fox, they're throwing that garbage out just so you to get your eyes on it.
Lou, I'm gonna make a prediction here that on his show tonight, he's going to be very contrite, right? He's going to say, "Yeah, I did it. I messed up. I apologize then. I apologize now." He's going to try. He's not going to do what his asshole brother did, right? He's going to tamp this thing down and put the fire out as quick as he can.
I'm sure he is. And, in that same vein, did you see Al Franken's thinking about running for Senate again?
No, is he really?
Yeah. And you know what? You think about what he did with a picture that he didn't even touch anybody. And he's probably looking at all these idiots and thinking, why the hell did I resign?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there was a lot of pressure on him to resign at the time. I always thought that pressure was a little much. They kind of went overboard a little bit. It was supposed to be a comedy piece, right? I mean, it wasn't in the best taste in the world, but I don't know. We have senators that's done a whole hell of a lot worse.
Yeah, we had guys try to overthrow the election.
Yeah, a couple years later, huh? A couple years later.
You know.
Oh, more than a couple. Right. I don't know, Master Grant. I mean, was the Al Franken thing really that bad that called for his
No,
his resignation?
no. Heavens, no. They should have just apologized and said it was in bad taste, poor taste, and just let it blow over.
But wasn't it Cinema that kind of pushed his resignation? No, was it her?
Gillibrand.
Oh, Gillibrand. That's it. That's it. I'm sorry. Yeah, that was it. I still think it was a bit of an overreaction myself. Now, we're three guys talking about it, but I don't know. I think like a simple apology, and trying to explain why he did what he did would have been more than enough.
Yeah. Sorry, it was stupid.
Yeah.
Grown, matured since then. I apologize to everybody.
This is why we did it. Not that I'm making excuses, but this is why we did it. Looking back on it, was probably not the smartest thing we've ever done.
Right.
Right. Just been done. Speaking of the Senate, CNN came out with a list of the 10 Senate seats most likely to flip in 2022. In other words, next year. Okay. So here they are, and I don't think they're in any kind of particular order. It didn't appear to be. They just randomly listed them. So we'll start with number one, Pennsylvania. Republican Pat Toomey's retiring, so that seat's going to be open. Um,
So you're saying flip for the Democrat?
well, yeah, I mean this in this case it would be right, but it's just which one's going to flip. So in this case, Toomey's a Republican, so they're saying it's going to go Democrat. Okay, there are some Democrats on this list. Uh, uh, you guys think PA's Senate seat's going to go flip Democrat?
Yeah, I would think the question is who's going to get that nod.
It,
And I
most
think,
signs are pointing to Arkush, Val Arkush.
he's the guy out of Philadelphia,
It's a she.
or she.
Yeah.
Who's she going to go against?
Well, that's the big question. They're saying that it's either going to be her or Fetterman, John Fetterman, our lieutenant governor. Who, by the way, I'd probably vote for him.
That would be my pick also.
But who would be up against? Who would they be up against on the Republican side?
It's going to be Scott Wagner, or who's the guy that ran against Connor Lamb last year for the congressional seat. Remember, he was whining because he lost by 1,000 or 2,000. Another one of those big lie backers.
That was in southwestern PA, wasn't it?
Yeah, Sean what?
Oh yeah. Well, what's his name? The other Republican will probably beat him.
Because that's going to come down to, you got to have that recognition name in eastern part of the state.
Yeah.
You're going to have a chance.
Because when Fetterman ran for Senate in, again, in a primary the last time, he lost out to that woman in Philadelphia simply because he was known very much on the West. Matter of fact, in the West, he had an astounding number of votes in the primary, percentage-wise. But they didn't know who he was out east. What was her name? McGinney. And basically, she lost to Toomey about how the state went down to Trump. It was almost identical numbers that year.
Number two, they're saying is Georgia, and this one, guys, I'm not so sure I agree with this one. The incumbent is the Democrat Raphael Warnock, right?
Yeah.
I still think he's pretty popular. He's running for a full 6-year term now, and so
Right.
there's no Democrats in the field against him.
You know what? That's going to be a tight one simply for the fact of what they're doing with the voter ID laws there. And they have claimed there's an astounding number of people now registered to vote in Georgia.
Yeah. So the Republicans are trying to counter him with, believe it or not, Herschel Walker.
Yeah, I just can't see that. I mean, I think Herschel Walker County can't even count his balls and get the same number twice, can he?
Well, neither can Trump, and he won.
Yeah, good point.
I just don't see Walker having that. I mean, Trump won because he basically let a bunch of racists and rednecks know that it's okay to be racist and redneck. So here you go. Herschel Walker doesn't have that appeal to anybody, does he?
No, not really. I just can't see it. I mean, somebody's going to run against him. When's that primary?
Well, it'd be next year.
Next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't even think he's going to come through to win the primary, simply because of what you just said, racist and rednecks.
Yeah, I don't see it. Wisconsin, the incumbent Republican Ron Johnson, he's running for a third term. Uh, the fact that he said a bunch of really wonderful things over the last 2 years. Only 35% of Wisconsin voters viewed Johnson favorably in a Marquette University Law School poll, while 42% viewed him unfavorably.
He's not going to lose.
Democrats have a
No,
very crowded field, so Democrats are going to be killing themselves.
they'll kill themselves, and as soon as the main election comes, it's going to be, if you vote Democrat, it will become communist, and people will be more scared of that than they will over their dislike of the incumbent. So he'll hold on. He's 2 terms, 3 terms.
This is his second term. He's going for a third.
He's going for his third. That's hard to beat when you're an incumbent after the first. If you get to the second, you kind of get yourself etched in there. It's gonna be hard to knock him off. It could be
Quick,
done. I mean,
quick question: should they not be allowed to run for a third term?
oh, you know how I feel about that. Absolutely.
Lou, what do you
One
think?
and done, in my opinion.
One?
I,
I say
I,
two.
I think Senate should be 2 terms max. Congressional seats, well, I was going to say 3 term max.
Congressional seats every 2 years,
Every two.
so that'd be a total of 6, right?
Yeah, to me, there should be a bigger rotation of congressional seats in and out.
Well,
Like
I
we've
agree.
talked about before, the Senate shouldn't even be there now.
yeah, I really don't see a need for a
Because
second.
then it'll really pick up on the heartbeat of the country, what's going on. And two, we got to limit the Senate's powers.
I mean,
Yes,
you think about everything that's happened in the last 40 years with trickle down bullshit and everything else. I mean, the main madness of it has come from the Senate. Oh, the filibuster. We can't eliminate the filibuster. Yeah, you're killing democracy. I really believe that January 6th, unless something's done about it in the voting, was a dry run at this point.
Yeah, you know what? I think you're right. I don't see any reason for a Senate. I don't understand why each state just doesn't get 2 more representatives and just be done with it.
be done with it. So such a waste of money.
Such
Well,
a waste of
and
money,
Such a
such a waste of
waste.
time.
some of those states need to lose one.
Well, I mean, if you give each one 2, then you eliminate the Senate, right? You made up for those bodies. Okay, so now you have those 2. Now, if you want to address the representation as it is existing in the House, yeah, that we can do that, and
Yeah,
you're
it
probably
has to
right.
be adjusted.
But we still have to account for those hundred people in the Senate, right?
Do you realize what's coming by 2050? I'm trying to remember if these numbers are right. 80% of the population's going to end up living in about 10 of the states.
Oh, really?
10 or
Texas and
12.
Florida are 2 of them, though, aren't they?
And it's mainly the coast.
Well, yeah. No one wants cows anymore, right? Who the hell wants to go plow the South 40? Nobody. What I don't like is the fact that you got somebody uh, in Idaho who is better represented than somebody that lives down in Oakland in Pittsburgh.
Well, you know what? You take population, the county of Los Angeles equals the population of Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, North Dakota, South Dakota, Iowa, Kansas, and Kansas. Okay, think about that. The county of Los Angeles
Yeah.
equals the population of about 6 states in the midsection.
So you don't get equal representation.
So there's 12 senators, and I think 10 of those are Republican.
Right. Well, that's a reflect. I mean, the electoral college reflects that, right?
Hmm.
It does. And I always made the argument that at some point, whenever you're living in some place, especially like, and I just use Pennsylvania, at some point your vote no longer matters, right? After so many votes are accumulated because of an electoral college, after so many votes are accumulated, anything beyond that doesn't matter. You've maxed out as far as the college is concerned, right? The population of Pennsylvania could be cut in half tomorrow, but we'll still have the same number of electoral votes. And it could double tomorrow, and we'll still have the same number of electoral votes. So at some point, the number of votes reaches a point of no return. So anything above that is meaningless. It's gone. That's not a representative government.
No, no. And the Republicans, realized this about 20 years ago. And, well, to their credit, they figured out the math to work the system in their favor. Um, and they've been doing a good job of it. The Democrats are catching up, but already way far behind. So you have all the gerrymandering going on. You have this is all to benefit a minority of people that are losing in the race of population. They're losing in areas where they're living, and so they have to strengthen. So that one white guy who's out in Wisconsin or Montana, his vote is actually equal to 25 people who live in Philadelphia,
Yeah.
something like that.
So how was this even? Yeah, I don't. Idealistically, I don't get how anybody ever thought this was a good idea.
Yeah, well, we're not a democracy. Let's not kid ourselves.
Well,
We're,
no,
we're no, we're not a democracy. We're kind of a democracy, but we're
we're
not
sort
really.
of a we're sort of a democracy, but we still have a representative government. And whenever you have this structure, it's not really a true representative government.
It should have been readjusted 100 years ago or more, but never was. The framers of the Constitution knew stuff would change and figured honorable men would do the right thing, but they were kind of mistaken.
They never counted on Mitch McConnell.
No, I mean, how appalled do you think they'd be about Mitch McConnell?
Oh, we'd have about 25 laws written by the founders because of him.
I mean, one of the mistakes that they made, and you can understand why they made it because they made a lot of assumptions where your federal government positions were not meant to be permanent positions.
Right? They're not
Right?
supposed
They
to be
were actually
jobs.
meant to be part time positions. Like 8 months a year or something like that was all it was intended to be because you had to be on the farm or whatever it was for the other four or something like that, right? I mean, it was literally a part time position. All the power was supposed to be in the states. Um, we shot that in the ass too. The one thing that they didn't account for was the evolution of our society, which I mean, in the way they did because they left so many things open ended, but in other ways they didn't because the structures that they had in place really didn't. There's no way to really change it. We can't get rid of the Senate, right? I mean, you would need a constitutional amendment to get rid of the Senate, and that means part of Congress would have to vote to eliminate itself, and then be ratified by the states. So basically, they're going to ask all of us to lose. Are you just willing to give up one of your representatives, even though it is a senator? Are you willing to do that? Everybody's going to say no. Who's going to say yes? So it was parts of it were not well thought out. Arizona incumbent Democrat Mark Kelly. Uh,
He's at
I
risk.
don't think he flips.
I don't think so either, especially after what we saw in Maricopa County. Uh, we'll get into that here in a bit. Uh, I don't think I mean I don't think where they're going to have anything to go against them. Blake Masters, maybe. I mean, he's got a super PAC supporting him. He's the president of the Teal Foundation. I don't think I think he's pretty safe. North Carolina Republican Richard Burr is retiring, so that seat's going to be wide open.
I'd say that stays Republican.
I would think North Carolina is going to stay Republican too. Master Grant, you're close to that. What do you think?
I don't know.
It's iffy, but
I would bet it stays Republican. New Hampshire incumbent Democrat Maggie Hassan, Hassan. Uh, Republicans are getting excited about Chris Sununu possibly running for Senate, and that she'd be going up against Sununu. She is very vulnerable. She doesn't have a whole lot of Democratic backing either. So New Hampshire might flip. Nevada incumbent Democrat Catherine Cortez Mastro. Looking like former Attorney General Adam Laxalt. I don't know. Florida Republican Marco Rubio is supposedly in trouble. From
Hey, you want to hear a funny thing? What
mhm.
if Donald Trump decided to run for Senate in Florida?
Wouldn't that be interesting? Well, wasn't his asshole daughter supposed to be running for
Oh,
that?
she wouldn't win. She has no clout at all. But he, on the other hand, he could knock out Rubio. He'd be running for senator, so prestige. Um, he'd get in there and he could definitely knock heads with Mitch McConnell. I don't know. I wonder if he would be thinking about that. That's something that would be intriguing.
That would be. I'll tell you what. That'd be fun to watch. Lou, what do you think? You like to see? You like to see the asshole run for Florida?
yeah, I would actually. It's a state full of them, so
Why not? Right. Right. Top shit on Turd Hill. Right. Rob Portman is retiring in Ohio. Every time you think Ohio's going to go Democrat, they always end up going Republican.
it's like Brown always seems to win there, and he's really not centrist.
No.
And so you would think that whoever's running for that seat would look at how Brown wins and say, you know what, I'm going to run the same campaign.
Let's just do that.
And actually, when you see how he runs, it's fairly simple. It's like he's pretty honest and he stands up for working people. You're getting ripped off. Here it is. Why don't we do simple things? But also, isn't the governor up in Ohio too, or is that, in 22?
What's his DeWitt? No, it's not DeWitt. Boy, am I behind.
DeWine.
DeWitt. Well, I was
Yeah,
close, Master Grant. I
he's
was close.
Republic. You know what? He was like, who was the other guy over there?
I actually did mind DeWine.
Um,
I mean, he did a lot of stupid shit with women's rights, but
he did the right things for certain things and then took a hit for it from the Trumpers. But and whoever's running Democrats going to be running against Trump protege Josh Mandel, who there's another one can't count his balls and get the same number twice.
apparently
He's
that's not a
full of
requirement in the Republican Party.
he's full of stupid shit.
Apparently that's not a prerequisite for them.
Oh, anymore. It's just like that's why I have my. You could handicap all you like. What dark horse is going to step out of the insane asylum and win the 24 presidential primary on the Republican side?
I don't know. Last one. Missouri incumbent Republican Roy Blunt is retiring. Missouri. You think Missouri is going to go blue?
No.
Not if Christ himself ran.
Yeah, right.
Right? Wouldn't happen. Not going to. So that leaves
You could have a candidate called Lucifer, I am the devil, Satan. If he had an R next to his name, he would win.
he'd still win. He would still win. It could be proven that he is Satan, and
Yeah.
with the promise that if you vote for him, you will burn in hell for
A
eternity
Republican.
with an R behind his name, and he's still going to win.
Oh, vote.
and they'll call it fake news.
God, it's going to be better than a Democrat, though. It's got to be better than a Democrat.
He's not a Democrat. What do you vote for him? He's not a Democrat. Yeah, but you're going to burn in hell. It's fake news. He said that. No, he didn't. Yes, he did. You were standing next to me when we watched it. No, I wasn't.
And the reason why it makes it so funny is because it's really close.
It's true. It wouldn't be funny if we were making it up. All right, let's get the nonsense out of the way. Okay, let me preface this by saying here's my problem with how we treat news or things that should be news, and even from our side, is remember how for the longest time, for the last couple of months, with this asshole audit in Arizona, what were they, the cyber ninjas, and how we just pretty much laughed at it and called it and poo-pooed it and said this is a bunch of shit, garbage. It's a show, it's a shit show. Well, their results came out today, and not only did according to their results, did Biden win. Biden won by more than the official results were. And now everybody's on our sides going, look, it's all done now. See, it's all, everything was legit. Everything was because, it went in our favor. Where a month ago, we were all saying this is a bunch of shit, even though we knew it was still going to be in our favor.
Why is that? Why was that even covered under the news when technically it was illegal to begin with, other than the clickbait, getting the advertising dollars, because that's all it was. I mean, who's the head of the cyber ninjas? Isn't he like a QAnon guy?
That's what I think, yeah.
Yep.
I mean, and just think, Fox News was waiting with bated breath to really talk about that. Now, Grant's half brother has nothing to talk about tonight at 9 o'clock because they went in favor of Biden. Fox had to reprogram their whole damn day today.
That stung. That stung. You've been waiting months to get me back for the Myrtle Beach comment.
He's so patient.
Very patient, yes. uh,
So why are we making a big deal of this now? How come we're not just shitting it away like we've been shitting on it for the last 2 months?
You should be. I see no point in it. I really don't. Why? Because let's look at it from the taxpayer point of view. How much money did they have to pay the cyber ninjas?
Millions.
And basically, all those machines have to be replaced
Well, yeah, they're not done paying for this yet.
because they were tampered with.
Right. Yeah, we're not even close to done to paying for this shit. Well, they're not. We're going to be. Well, 2 out of 3 of us because Master Grant's out of here. But do you see the assholes in Pennsylvania want to do this now? The Republicans in the legislature want to do the same shit now.
And Attorney General suing them. And who started? The guy that was actually at the insurrection on the 6th, Mastriano.
And yet they're still taken serious. How the hell do you take this shit seriously? And let's just make the assumption, just because we have to stir shit up. Let's say the cyber ninjas come to Pennsylvania. You know, Shredder and Michelangelo and Leonardo and all those. Oh wait, that's Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
And they come out with, oh, you know what? The initial count and all 12 counts afterwards in Pennsylvania were wrong, and Trump actually won. All right, now what? Now what? What happens now? It's been certified. It's over.
It's certified.
Even if all 13 times was wrong and they're right, so what? Now what do you do? He still lost. It's over.
And hence, that's why did you see, Master Grant, did you see the 6-point plan that was laid out in front of Trump for January 6th by a law professor? And if Pence would have cooperated, I don't know what might have happened. I still tend to think the results would be the same, but it just makes me think they're looking for 2024.
Wait,
yeah, let me see if I can find it for you, Master Grant.
This was Trump had this plan?
Oh yeah.
I didn't see anything about this on the news.
It was basically getting how many states tossed out?
7.
7 states tossed for fraud, audits, whatever.
Let me share this.
Now here's some news. Why wasn't this front and center? Why doesn't everybody know about this?
Yeah, why don't they? Because to me, why wasn't this on everything? Because there it is. It would basically it would have tossed the electoral into disarray, and Trump would have won the electoral, but wouldn't have had the majority, so it would have been tossed back to the states, of which Republicans control 26 of the 24 state houses. And each state would receive 1 vote each.
That's why he was so confident.
And that's why he was so pissed off at Pence.
Boy, that makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
Now, why isn't this front and center?
And do you actually know who stopped Pence from doing what he really didn't have the power to do anyhow? Did you hear that bit of news?
No.
It was Dan Quayle.
It was Dan Quayle?
Think about it. He called Dan Quayle over this and said, "Can I do this?" And Quayle said, "You're only symbolic. Don't even think about it. It's just going to cause issues. Don't even attempt it."
Out of everybody to call, he called Dan Quayle.
Dan Quill.
Well, this is huge. I mean, this is like you go to jail for life.
Well, only if he did it. I mean, you can do this plan. I don't think anything would happen to you.
No, you. This plan was on Trump's desk, right?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, it was there.
This is treason.
yeah. This is
Sure
true.
Street.
Wow, this kind of blows my mind because well, year 2024 saying, well, the Democrats could do it, right? If they lose.
Well, anybody could do it. Yeah.
I mean, because what? You don't think Biden's going to run again, do you? I don't think.
I think it. I'll tell you the truth. I think it depends on his. You know what? I should get rid of this. I think it depends on number one his numbers, and number two Kamala Harris's numbers. I think if his numbers are better than hers, then he will run again. But if hers are better, then he's going to step aside and she's going to run.
And they're already pounding. You see some of these right wing bullshit newspapers, they're already pounding her like she's unreachable, she's not doing a good job, this and that. Well, what's she not doing? She's doing what a vice president should be doing,
Mm-hmm.
Same thing like they pounded Hillary all those years. Would Kamala Harris be able to keep Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Michigan? What kind of a turnout would she get? Would she get
That's a
Barack
good
numbers?
question.
Would she get Obama numbers?
She won't get Obama numbers.
Well,
Do you think it has anything to do with maybe who the Republicans are going to have running against them?
That's a possibility. But
Well,
like I said,
let's say it's the the usual suspects, right? You got Rubio, you got what's his name, Cruz, you got the same bunch of shitheads that are running for the Republicans because now you know that stage of 20 people is going to be 40 now this time around, right? Because everybody's going to throw their hat in the jar. Fuck, I like to throw my hat in the jar. Just why the hell not? I'm not above skimming off the top.
Donald Trump Jr. would beat 3/4 of the usual suspects, and he's a bigger moron than his father.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously. He's twice as stupid and half the charisma. What's he gonna do? Shoot an elephant on stage?
In a cage.
In a cage?
The only one with less charisma is Jared. I've seen envelopes with more charisma. But what if it's Junior? Here's a really good question. If it's Junior, do you run Harris, or do you guarantee a second term or damn near a second term with Biden, knowing that you still got Harris, coming off the bench for 2 innings?
Right now in polling, Junior's second behind DeSantis, who's a sociopath. I mean,
I would love to see DeSantis run. I would love to see him on that stage. He's going to do about as well as Rick Perry did.
did you happen to see earlier this week? I know you don't watch MSNBC, but I happened to catch the beginning of Chris Hayes. And he had basically a thing on, he was running the clips about COVID and Republicans and not getting the vaccine. And it just, boy, it really made sense. And I'm sure there's a clip of it on YouTube somewhere. And basically getting all these governors to say, yeah, the vaccines work, we got them, but they're preaching freedom. And it comes, freedom, let's take Horst Wormer to own the libs. We're at the point like, okay, where's my freedom to go out freely because of you assholes? You're infringing upon most Americans' freedoms because you're greedy, selfish pricks, is what it comes down to. You
I
don't
mean,
care about your family, let alone other Americans you don't know.
Well,
right.
that's kind of what the vaccinations become politicized, become political weapons, and kind of just ties right back into the you know Lucifer being running on a Republican ticket is going to win.
Oh, sure.
That's how dug in these people are, and it's weaponized politics. Nobody thinking clearly.
And
You
the
know,
bottom line on the big lie is the election was rigged. Is I don't care what they say. I don't know your opinion is. Damn, we counted too many colored people's votes, black, brown, yellow, and them damn white people that voted for Democrats should be shot too.
that's what it is exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. So, the three of us should be shot.
Taking our country back. They'd rather be ruled by a dictator than have somebody like Kamala Harris be president. That's an intelligent person.
Yep, because she doesn't look like me. It's that simple. She doesn't look like me, right? I look at these people, and I'm thinking, you got a problem now because eventually, and we, the three of us, actually may be alive long enough to see it because I think it's happening that quickly. That all of these people that they don't want to have any kind of power or say or whatever are just multiplying too quickly. And it's not going to be long before these same people are going to be living in these districts that they're gerrymandering. And now what are you going to do?
You
I
know,
mean,
there was
you look at Jim Jordan's district, it's ridiculous. And it is done intentionally to get the majority of votes from a certain demographic. That's all it is. Well, what do you
well
do
the
whenever what do you do now whenever the people that you're trying to oust, that you're trying to ignore, are now living in these districts where you're trying to get a certain vote?
same with Dan Crenshaw's district around Austin. It's the same thing.
Right. Now what are
And
you going to do?
you're only going out. You're right. Um, there was a article I caught yesterday. I'm trying to remember where I saw it. It was a longer read, but it was about. We've talked about this. Less and less people going to organized religion and finding their own spiritual outlet. And guess where the biggest numbers are coming from? Generation Z.
Yeah.
Religion controls a lot of thinking. If you look at the voting numbers for Trump, I would bet it's a 90% match for evangelicals
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah,
because you're a
there's no
flock,
question.
you're sheep that fall in line, you listen.
Right. Once
And,
it,
that Generation Z is, seriously, guess what? Zero fucks given.
yeah. Generation Z is not falling in line. They're creating their own rules.
Well, and that's a good point, Blue, because like the whole people vote based on one issue, which is abortion. It's true. That's the only thing they care about. And that's why they vote Republican, because they don't care about anything else, just abortion. And you look at the hypocrisy of that, because these are the same people then who won't wear masks, who want to have the right to, They want to have the right to get into somebody's business in the womb, but yet don't infringe on my right of catching COVID and infecting somebody else and having them die.
Right.
It's like it would be one thing if they kept uh, consistent. Say, okay, I'm anti-abortion, I'm getting vaccinated, I'm wearing a mask all the time,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because now you respect life. But and I don't want to, it's not the argument of the evils of killing, killing an unborn baby. It's the hypocrisy of lack of consistency in somebody's beliefs. If you believe in life, then you need to be wearing a mask and get vaccinated because it's not about you. It's about you protecting others, and that's missed completely. I don't know. It's just to me, it
So
just
so 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 what's the purpose behind it then? What's the purpose behind the anti-abortion crowd then? It's obviously not pro-life. They're proving that with their actions. So what is it?
Misogyny and the control of
It's
women.
control. It's control.
That's all it is.
It's control.
If we
It's
were
that's
that concerned about that baby that's unborn, oh, you know what? Sally's pregnant. Hey, George, guess what? You got to start paying right now for her child care, prenatal care, the doctor's visits, the insurance. Why can't we cover that baby under insurance right now? Life insurance. Why Democrats aren't smart in that respect? Let's turn that over into insurance liability and see how fast some of that stuff gets kicked back.
and hey, maybe we should make sure that the kid's properly nourished, gets the right vaccinations, and hey, maybe the mom should be able to stay home with him for his first year.
Yeah, you know what? Mom gets to stay home the first year. And you know what? That kid, if he's poor, he needs pre-K. He needs
He needs neonatal
daycare,
care. Yeah,
education. Yeah.
yeah. How come we're not doing that, right? And how come we're telling the 16-year-old that no, even though you're still a child, you don't have to carry a child, right? Why are we doing that? Oh, and by the way, you get no help at all. If your family's not helping you, you're fucked again, so to speak, right? You're more than willing to throw the burden on her. More than willing to do that. You'll do that all day with both feet. You'll jump down her on both feet, but you're not going to do anything on the other end to support her, to help her out, to make things maybe a little easier for her. So it's all control. It's all about control. And we'll hide behind our Bible as our way of doing it. That's our shield.
The Bible that you don't even know it's in it because you worship Republican Jesus, not the actual guy that stood for stuff.
Not the brown skin liberal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and Republican Jesus is a white man with a brown beard,
and blue eyes.
blue eyes, white mother.
Yeah. He's the skinny Santa Claus, the skinny young Santa Claus.
You know what? If Jesus ever come back in this country, they'd shoot his ass because he wouldn't be.
They call him an immigrant. He call him an illegal.
Because it'd be a damn socialist communist.
Yeah, terrorist. He's from the Middle East. He'd be a terrorist.
That's right, because Jesus preached communism.
Right. Well, he was from the Middle East, so he'd be a terrorist.
Yeah. No, people really don't get that. They don't understand it. Go look at the Essenes community. That's what Jesus was preaching. Part of his message.
Yep.
I love when somebody said, you know what, the best one I ever heard, somebody says, this is a Christian country. Oh, good. When are we going to start that? Well, what do you mean? When are we going to start it? Clothe the poor, feed the hungry, help the sick, welcome the immigrant, treat them as your own, and treat everybody with love, and let them look at you like a deer in the headlights. And then say, didn't Jesus say that at the Sermon on the Mount?
That's good.
Think about it.
Lose on a roll tonight. Okay, so Master Patrick, what's your day count?
Oh, geez. 21? No, today would be 22.
Good.
Friday being,
Oh, wow.
yeah, because everything started on a Thursday.
Excellent.
So it would be 22.
Excellent.
That's
Lou,
right,
how
right?
about
Lou?
you?
Yeah.
Lou, how about you?
Lou's got to do math. He's in years.
It's going to be a lot, I know.
Well, let me see. There's a calendar that does that.
Well, you can just Google years to days.
Well, this goes by. It even tells you how many heartbeats.
Oh, fuck. I mean, I don't want to know that because there's a finite number of those.
Let's see. I haven't done this in a while. I truly don't know. Let's see. What's
What was the
today?
last number?
Oh nine. No. Let's see. 11/19/. Oh, 6,153.
But 22.
I can remember that too. It's one at a time.
One at a time. How many for you, Master
Yeah.
Grant?
I'm at 86.
86. Boy, I'm still the youngest one, no matter what we do.
Yes, you are.
Well, you know what we always said about that? It depends who got up earliest in the morning has the longest today.
That's probably still me. Well, I don't know. You get up awfully early, too.
Yeah. Well, I slept in today. I didn't get up till 6:45 because my wife was off.
Oh, shit.
That's a sleep in for me.
I was up at 4:30.
Usually it's 5:15.
Yeah. I am usually 5:15. I'm usually pulling into my parking spot down at the Y. About 5:15, I'm pulling in. They can't understand why I'm so bitchy at 8 o'clock. How many, Master Grant? 88.
86. Something.
86. Then I'll tell you the truth. I'll be honest with you. That it doesn't seem like it was 86.
Yeah, I'm coming up to 3 months.
Well, yeah, I suppose so. Just sounds like a very big number to me. I don't know why. I mean, not as big as that 250,000 lose on, but
Yeah, that's right.
Did Patsy tell you he didn't know where this one black wire went because he had a bulb out and I made him a permanent nightlight in his bathroom?
he doesn't know the story about the light switch in the bathroom at all.
Okay.
Master Grant, you know my fear of electricity, right? It's slightly above my fear of heights. Okay? Like that far above. Okay? And I had a Wi-Fi controlled switch, toggle switch in my bathroom. The problem was where it was located. It was like in a cutout, and the studs in this cutout are aluminum. So I was having spotty Wi-Fi reception anyhow, even at 2.5 gigahertz or gigahertz. I was still having problem because it's aluminum, right? So it reflects. It reflects. Finally, this switch died. So I told my wife, I said, why don't we just put a regular switch in there and then we'll just get a Wi-Fi lamp or something and just do that. And she said, okay, she was good with that. So I just get a normal switch, just a normal, flip up, flip down switch. And I go and I go to take out the Wi-Fi switch and I see all of these black wires. I don't know how the hell I hooked up the Wi-Fi one to begin with. I must have got luckier in hell. It's the only thing I could think of. So there's the light. There's two switches. One switch is the fan. The other switch controls the overhead light and the light above the vanity. Okay. Well, the light bulb above the vanity was burned out. That I totally forgot about whenever I'm trying to get this thing together. So I'm trying all kinds of shit to get it together. I'm not working. I'm sending Lou pictures. I'm texting him. He's finally calling me saying, "What the hell are you doing?" I'm like, I don't know, right? So finally he says, "You know what? I'm on my way over." So he comes over, and we get the switches all. The switch is working. Everything's all set up. He leaves. What is it? A week later, I replaced the light bulb.
Well, yeah, I said, "Where's this black wire to? Is this go to another switch or light, or is it?" I thought a lot of times you'll get when it runs through to the next switch somewhere, maybe in the next room. That's what makes it hot. I said, "We'll make it hot." Well, a week later, he calls and says, "The light in the bathroom's on permanent."
The one above the vanity. I changed the light bulb. Here, I can't turn it off at the light. I'm like, dude.
So I wired it hot direct, is what I did. I said, I'll be over and fix it. Don't touch it.
Touch it, yeah.
So anyhow, there was a little piece of black wire that was left over that you had you put on the shelf. Lisa saw it and she goes, "What's this?" Right? And I knew it was just the leftover piece, right? And I went, "Oh my god!" I said, "Honey, don't turn anything on." She goes,
Oh.
"What?"
Oh heavens!
Then she called me an asshole. You know.
Wow.
That day he was trying to figure out which wire's hot. I said, "Is Nick there?" He says, "Yeah." I said, "Tell him to touch a couple until he gets scolded."
That was hot.
As soon as I heard a thump, I'm like, "All right, which one did you touch?"
Hey Nick, come on over here. I need you for a second. Nick, why are you running out
What's
the
this?
door? Nick, why are you jumping in the car? Nick, where are you going?
Dude, come here, touch this. He looked at me like, "Are you crazy?"
Guys, I have to run.
All right, yeah, we're gonna kill it. We'll see you, Master.
All right, Grant, have a good weekend.
You too. Bye.
Oh, it was funny. That was funny.
Well.
You ready to kill this?
Yep.
Yeah, I think so. Me too. Okay, everybody, thank you very much for joining us. We will be back next week. Lou, just a reminder. So I tell you early, well, so I tell everybody. Let me look for it here real quick before I forget. On October 8th, which is a Friday. Okay, we will not have a show. I'll actually be down Master Grant School, running the class. He's going to be up. You should come down. You should come down with me to Monaco.
Let me think what it would be. The 29th of October, I'm going to be out of town for a wedding.
Oh, this is the 8th.
That's the 8th. So yeah, it's an option.
You know, come down, hang out. We'll go eat something afterwards, and I'll pick you up and we'll go down. I don't know. We'll do something if you want to.
All right.
All right, we'll just hang out, and have a good time, and who the hell knows? There's some good places to eat down there.
Where's the
Not
school?
as much as we have here, but what they have there is pretty good.
Where's the school at?
Monaco.
Downtown?
Yeah, literally right downtown. Right on the strip. You know where the BP gas station is? Right downtown.
Yeah.
Caddy corner from it.
There used to be some. Well, you know what? There's some restaurants right across the river in Bridgewater there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's some pretty good ones. They're just like I said. It's just not as. Oh, by the way, I had Alhams for lunch today.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I had a free delivery with DoorDash. So I got the hummus and the baba ganoush and I got vegetarian grape leaves and tabbouleh. They have a
Boy, I
platter.
haven't had great. I love tabbouleh, a good one. I still
Oh yeah,
think Mary's tabbouleh is still the best in town.
yeah, she's good tabbouleh.
The grape leaves I haven't had for a while. I love them.
I love grape leaves. And Alham's is the only place where I can get baba ganoush.
I thought she had it down at Mary's too. Maybe not.
Uh, Elham's, up in the Shannock might have it across
They
from Carl's
might.
Plaza. He might have it, but I don't think Mary does. Well, maybe I don't know, but
Boy, I haven't had all hams in a long time.
oh, that's good stuff. They have their
Last
Syrian. They have their Syrian version of the Pittsburgher that the people that I work with swear by.
Really? Oh, I
Yeah,
bet that's good.
it's fantastic.
I haven't been up to even the Cedars for a while. I love their lamb.
Shh. Uh,
It's fine
so
dining establishments. Not one chair and table match in the entire building.
no, not even the paneling matches. Uh, you know what? Believe it or not, Lou, still the best eggplant sandwich I've ever found. The Cedars.
Cedars.
Yep.
They have a
Best
great
eggplant
lamb
sandwich.
sandwich. Their lamb
Yeah,
sandwich is great.
Lisa loves their lamb. I think I think that's probably her favorite place for lamb.
I think they have the best in town.
Yeah, I think she does too.
And I think the next best lamb sandwich normally is Edwards.
Edwards has a good lamb sandwich. Yeah, she's happy with their lamb too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she loves. I mean, she absolutely loves Cedar's lamb. She has for years. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, but you're right. It's like the biggest dive there is. I mean, you don't even know it's a bar until you're like, what? It's there. That's it.
I thought that was a closed, rundown house on the corner.
I didn't even think somebody lived here.
Yeah.
Good food though, man. Their food's good. I do. I like it. Their wings are good. Uh, service is lousy.
Oh, yeah.
Food is
But
absolutely. Yeah, but someplace like that would expect.
yeah,
Like
you're too
probably the honest.
younger. You're a few years younger than me. You don't remember the Ember Club.
No. You know what I do remember though? You're not going to believe this. Uriges
Okay.
up on oh what that was the name of the street.
Is that Morton? No.
No.
Arlington? No.
Remember, it was like a little green building. You actually had to walk downstairs to get into the place.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had meatball sandwiches that were unbelievable. But yeah, I remember that. I was young then. I mean, God, I had to be 6 or 7. It's
I'm
amazing
trying
what
to
you
remember.
remember. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing what you remember.
I did. Hope I didn't offend Master Grant with half brother.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. He probably is just like, okay, I got to step my game up now.
Yeah, step it up.
All right, let's get out of here. We'll see everybody next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. Until then, everybody, goodbye, good luck, and God bless. We'll see everybody next.